call this meeting to order,
Yeah.
save the time. First order of business.
Good evening and welcome to the Town of Buxton Select Meeting for July 24th, 2024. Call this meeting to order at 7:02. First order of business is Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of prior meeting minutes for July 17th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? 4 with 1 absent. Discussions held between 4 and 7. We were pretty busy tonight. At 4 o'clock, Public Works Director came in, Kevin Kimball, just talked some personnel issues and stuff. 4:30, Police Chief Kevin Collins came in. We went into executive session, 1 MRSA 4056A, a personnel from 4:25 to 4:48. At 5 o'clock, the 3 of the fire union representatives came in and talked to us for a few minutes. At 5:30, Fire Chief Nate Schools came in and talked to us. In between that, the tax collector, Leanne Pratt, came in and talked to us. And at 6:30, code enforcement came in and talked to us. We went into executive session again, MRSA 2056A, from 6 to 6:30 for a personnel issue. Projects and issues, Tom.
Yeah, I had a phone conversation this week with Kevin Kimball, the Public Works Director, just talking about the paving, this season's road paving. They've done some roads over by Bonnie Eagle Pond, and he's got a list of roads that they're gonna be doing later on in the year when they have time, as well as the fire station parking lots, but that's it for me.
Mark?
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot this week. I did speak to Kevin as well, and just a discussion. We're looking to get an electrical inspector in town. Just had some conversations about that, but not a whole lot substantive this week.
Chad?
Yes, had some conversation with our code enforcement officer, Patty McKenna. Spoke to our fire chief, and I should mention that it's been a busy week for the fire department with burning, and they've made some good saves on grass fires that could have gone into houses, and a lot of EMS calls this week. So they've been real busy, but yeah.
Yeah, I talked to the fire chief also. They had a couple issues, one with the assistant chief's car and one with the ambulance, and they got all that straightened out. It ended up not being real serious. Talked to Greg over the transfer station. They were starting to grind all the trees and the stuff like that, all the brush they have over there. Company came in and they're starting to grind that, so they'll get that all cleaned up. And I talked to Kevin Kimball from Public Works. They needed some trees cut up before they could grind them, so he sent someone over and helped out, got that done. So when that's all ground, they're gonna do a little bit of work so that it's a better layout for people to dump their brush. So that was about it for my week. Old business, the Salmon Falls Bridge, the state has decided that that is safe for trucks to go across, so they're not going to be limiting the weight this year. They had talked about putting weight restrictions on it, and they're not going to do that. So they're still going to replace it in the spring, but there won't be any weight limits on it this year. And also, new business, Central Maine Power is going to be doing a voltage reduction test on Tuesday, August 20th at 1800 hours. And the alternative date will be Thursday, August 22nd at 1800. The test will run until about 1830. Most electrical users are unaware of the test and won't know anything about it, but they're doing a test. And this is sent to us by Central Maine Power, just to notify our residents. Executive orders, Executive Order 2425007-016, in order to adopt the code, Buxton Code Planning Board and Appeals Fee Schedule effective July 24th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? 4 with 1 absent. Executive Order 2425007-017, in order to sign the Assessor's Certification of Assessment Mutual Tax Assessment Warrant, Mutual Tax Commitment Warrant, and Certification of Assessment to be returned to the mutual treasurer and to be set the tax rate for fiscal year 24-25 at $10.99 per thousand.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? 3, 1 absent, and 1 abstaining. Executive Order 2425007-018, in order to approve an application for widow of a veteran exemption from MAP 4, Lot 58A.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? No?
Yes, yes. Sorry.
3 with 1 abstaining and 1 absent. Executive orders by initiative? No. Accounts payable and payroll warrant. Executive Order 2425007-019, in order to approve an expenditures as documented in Accounts Payable Warrant 108.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? 4 with 1 absent, and that amount is $5,270.71, and that is stuff for last year's, what is it?
Budget.
From last year's budget, the bills just came in, and so they're being paid. Executive Order 2425007-020, in order approving expenditures as documented in payroll warrant number 7.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? 4 with 1 absent, and that amount is $102,764.36, 16 cents, I'm sorry. Executive Order 2425007-021, in order approving expenditures as documented in Accounts Payable Warrant 8.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? 4 with 1 absent. And that amount was $50,682.53. Next meeting of the boards. The next meeting of the selectmen will be Wednesday, July 31st, 2024 at 7 p.m. The next planning board meeting will be held Monday, August 12th at 7 p.m. Any other business? Public questions and comments?
Hello, Ellen Dakotas from Aging in Buxton. I just wanted to give you all an update on what the group is doing. We have made some nice strides, so I wanted to share them and with the community. We now really have a steady group to serve as a board, and we are all working hard. We need to develop another 3-year plan in order to continue in our connection to AARP. We had to complete one in order to become an age-friendly community, and now we're continuing with this. So we're using several documents, which include a survey that we have given to parts of the town. We rely on what's called the Livability Index from AARP and the information from the Census Bureau. And we will use that to develop a 3-year plan, which is then submitted to AARP, and which we need to complete and carry out. I would like to throw out a thank you to some of the people who have been most consistently volunteering. The people who are helping out at the food boxes, thank you. We now are up to 70 boxes a month. And also to thank you to the Department of Public Works, and because people can drive through the garage to get their food. There are volunteers who continue to drive people to their medical appointments. We do not have many. We still need lots of volunteers for driving people. That is one of the largest needs that people are indicating in this town, which is not really a surprise, right? We have a very dedicated group of people developing social media for us. We now have our own Facebook page, and we are posting announcements there as well as on the Buxton Facebook pages. We started some new programs. We have started to deliver books, library books to people, because they don't have vehicles and they can't get to the library. And that's a wonderful opportunity for someone to volunteer, because you're just picking up books at Berry and driving them to people's, there's one place where we deliver them, and we would like to expand that program if we can get more volunteers. We are also, the police have been very active with us. They helped right after that April storm, and they went out particularly to people who were involved with the aging group and helped to clean up their yards. And we are sponsoring a workshop, if you will, on Saturday morning, August 3rd, from 8 to 10, about how to protect ourselves against fraud and scams. So the meeting is going to be here. It's posted on their web page, their Facebook page. We've put it on our Facebook page, but I think it would be really helpful if people came. It's very informative. It's a real thing that's happening to a lot of people in the senior age group particularly. We are looking at the possibility of becoming a nonprofit. We're still working on that to develop that status, because we would have access to some grant money. We're also looking for people who will volunteer or provide at a lower cost some minor home repairs. People are looking for things. That's part of our goal, is to help people stay in their homes as they age. And so if there are people who would be willing to do that, we have people who need that help. So I think that's all tonight. If you have any questions.
How much are you using the Berry Library?
Right now, we have 2 people who are accessing it. Several people asked, and they did get library cards, but we have 2 people right now, and we're delivering the books to them. Their joy is, it's very nice. The quality of life has been improved. It's something I've told my daughters that I would need. If I can't drive, they need to get me books from the library, so it's very important. I'm a little confused about why the two libraries, we can't share the card between the libraries. That would be helpful, if that would work, just to be able to access more books. But I don't know if anybody here understands why that doesn't happen. No?
No, I don't. And we've talked about that in the past. How come we don't collaborate our two libraries together a little bit better? And that
Right.
conversation has happened, is happening, but that's never been brought up. I don't have an answer to that, but we're actively seeking how do we somehow incorporate the two libraries together a little bit better.
Right. Does Berry have a particular board of trustees?
Yes,
They do.
They do.
It's listed somewhere
Should be in the town report.
yeah.
in the town
Town
report?
report.
It's in the town
Okay,
report.
thank
yeah.
you. I think, yeah, well, I think that would be, that's another advantage of perhaps exploring. I think that would be good if we could increase everyone's access to the two libraries. It's a little cumbersome right now.
Yep.
I just want to put out a thank you to you
Oh,
and your
thank you.
organization. I had an elderly lady who was in rehab reach out to me and needed some help with a ramp put on her house so she could be discharged from the facility. I called you folks, and within 24 hours, essentially you had a crew somewhat together to do it, and in this particular case, a family member that got involved that was willing to do it and did it. So she was able to get what she wanted, accomplished so she could get out of rehab. But
That's
you guys were
important.
there to,
We're trying
Yeah.
to network within the town as well as network to community services, because we're not going to be able to really duplicate everything that we need in town. But there are community services that we can coordinate with and try to get things provided for people in Buxton.
How does the, were you done, Chad?
I'm done.
Yeah, just to compliment on top of what Chad just said, how do, carpenters, electricians, and plumbers get involved with your group to help the people that are in need? You said you need some of these people, but, it's one thing to say, oh, that's great, they need that, but how do people actually get involved, and, do they reach out to you and say, here's my name, and, you know what I mean? That's basically how
That
it
would
works?
be the best, because, it's sporadic. I'm trying to maintain a balance of offering how much I can offer to do for people, and then trying to get volunteers. So I'm kind of stuck sometimes, but people are calling sometimes, and I need to be able to help them, like with the ramp, or someone just called me the other day. So I'll give you the phone number, and there are brochures at the front office, but the phone number is 579-0854. And I will always get the messages. It does not have my name on it. It's a Google phone, but I get the messages and I will call. So yes, if somebody would say, gee, I would, do one pro bono job a year or something, that would be outstanding. And then, it's not major things I'm not offering to do major jobs for people.
how does it work for, let's just say, and I hate to even use the word, but liability, if you're a retired person, let's just use an example that doesn't own a construction business or anything like that, but wants to come over and help put things up. I mean, is there a certain amount of coverage with how does that work?
Well, that's a good question. I know with the car, people are concerned about the driving. And AARP has told me, and I listened to a webinar the other day, there's another organization based in Westbrook that helps to coordinate driving programs within towns. And they both said, for the cars, they said that it is, we are covered under our own insurance. so that they don't provide extra insurance. With this, I think, again, they would have to be comfortable with being covered by their own insurance.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
okay.
There doesn't seem to be, I can look into it, but I have not been heard of more. I think if it was when we had that housing grant, the people went in and they were, I think under their own private insurance to help at that time with people's homes.
So for clarity on that, you're talking the homeowner's insurance would cover if the carpenter did something that was faulty?
No, the carpenters would have their own insurance.
Right, so if a retired person doesn't have a company,
Oh,
he doesn't
right.
have insurance, so if he's coming to help the elderly, and let's say he builds a ramp, and the ramp falls and that person gets hurt, then he would be liable.
They might.
And so I think that,
That would deter people. And
Yeah,
I'm
right, so I-
going to look into
Yeah, I
that because
think
I don't want, because I know this is being
Yeah.
done everywhere.
I think a lot of people would be willing to do things
If they felt more
there was some-
comfortable, I
It's
will-
one thing about painting, side of a deck or something, that's,
Right,
but
right.
ramps and handrails, the stuff that you're probably really gonna need, if there was some type of umbrella policy, if you're doing it under the auspices of,
Of AARP.
Yeah.
I will come back
Yeah.
next week with an answer.
that'd be great.
So that the people aren't concerned, because it's being done all over the state by
yes,
by
yeah,
these
yeah.
age-friendly groups, so I will get an answer for that. The car, though, that's the way the car ride, it goes, that our insurance covers if there's something that happens with rides, if you're driving somebody somewhere. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So just, Ellen, it's aging in place, and the people out there that want, it's 5790854.
Right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Just to answer the question about liability, I've been in the building business.
He's got it.
Oh, great.
Could you give us your name, so?
Up here?
Yeah, can you
Just
mention
to
your
answer the
name?
question on
Could
liability.
you mention your name?
Oh, John McManamy.
Thank you.
They will sue the deep pocket in 2 seconds. The town will be sued, I guarantee you that. By any kind of, the homeowner's insurance, assuming they have homeowners, those people pass the buck like crazy. But if someone comes over and builds a ramp and it collapses, guarantee you the town's going to be sued. Because they got the deep pocket.
But we're not affiliated.
We're not affiliated.
Well, make sure that you have the necessary legal protections, because they'll go after you. Okay. Anyways, first off, I want to thank you all for providing Patty with a new car. That thing that she had a year and a half ago, that white thing, was so dangerous. So that was a good decision. But I did want to talk to you about the dam. I watched it pretty closely what happened last week, and it looks like up on Lower Egypt Road, the water kind of receded maybe 15 feet. Down where I am, down by the theater, maybe it went up a foot. I don't really know whether it was because of them dropping the batter boards, because we had rain one day, and I noticed that the river was up in front of my house the day after, which is usually when that happens. But I did have a question to you. I noticed that they dropped all the batter boards, and the concrete dam itself is still about 5 feet above the bedrock. Are they going to tear that out?
So the water, the lowest you saw it
Right.
this past week, it's going to go 6 feet below that.
Okay.
And so I don't know if the concrete dam is 6 feet, but that's what I was.
It's about 6 feet.
Yeah, so once they're not tearing the whole concrete out. In the middle, there's a slough.
Yeah, they're
In the
just,
middle of that dam, there's a slough, and the other one half is in Buxton and one half is in Hollis. They're keeping that slough. Everything from the slough to Hollis is coming out
Right.
as far as the dam goes, but when you come down where the generation station is, all that area is staying. So the only thing they're really tearing out is from the slough over to the.
That's fine.
Yeah, so that's what they're tearing
So
out.
I'm going to anticipate that down, down from the dam, we're going to go up maybe at most 2 feet.
I don't think you're gonna go up at all, because the water above the dam was just holding water above the dam, and once they remove the dam, you'll probably go up until water reaches its natural flowing.
Well, we're okay with that.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm okay
I don't
with
think
that.
you'll, for the first several months, you might have a difference in change when they remove the dam, but after the dam is removed, the years to come, the water's always gonna be the same level, because what holds your water up is skeleton dam.
Well, that's good. The power plant, that's Hollis's problem, right?
Well, I don't know if it's a problem, but it belongs in the town of Hollis, yeah.
I mean, if some kids were climbing on that and they fell, other than, well, I guess Brookfield's keeping ownership, so they'd get sued. But there's no, well, I guess that's Hollis's problem, right? It isn't our problem.
Well, yes, it would not be, liability of the town. There is, we have some liabilities there, right? If you notice, there's some big islands, in the middle there above the dam that, I heard were made for the slewing of logs back in the day. Those are all exposed. And if you look at it, got all timbers on them with steel spikes. Once those get exposed to the weather after a while, those will probably rot out, and the steel spikes,
think
the
so.
water's kept it from rotting out over the years. But once that starts to rot out, we got all that metal there, our kids gonna be hanging out on those little islands. I have no idea if their intention is to take those islands out or what. So those are all questions that, as they come forward here, that will be asked. But.
So this is going to be the big year, right? Because aren't they supposed to start working on giving up their license in, next summer?
Yeah, so they were supposed to start in 2025, but because they couldn't do the study last year, I don't know if that's going to prolong that and make it 2026.
Right.
I don't know.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Heath, you going up? No?
Dave Hyman, Buxton. First question, what's the status over at the transfer station? Are they getting many complaints on the money?
From what Greg has said, they're getting no complaints about the money. The only thing they're getting complaints about is the rates going up.
Okay, I know you had said something, that thing that you announced tonight, does that have to do with those rates, or is that just for the code enforcement and the
That is
electrical fees?
just
or
for the electrical fees.
Is that available to the,
It's online? Okay. We just approved it, so it'll be put online.
so the fees for the transfer station haven't gone into effect yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's online, right? Yeah, that's online already.
Okay, I don't think it's ever been announced that they were going up, I mean, other than in here.
Right. We announced it in here.
In here you did?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
couple months ago. Because
Okay.
we said that all this is gonna take place July 1st. So we started talking about that in May.
Yeah.
Okay, the bridge, they're not gonna be rerouting traffic,
It's safe again.
it's safe again.
Yep, they
Miracles
said all of a
happen.
sudden, it's a miracle. It became safe.
But they're still gonna tear it apart when they were planning on it.
Yeah, in the spring, they're gonna replace it.
What is I heard that they put it on hold because of the, Hollis wanted the sidewalks and Buxton said no.
We haven't heard that.
No, they're building a bridge over there, and in order to put a sidewalk, I think, was it $100,000 more? We had to split it between the towns. and I don't know, for some reason, we were kind of we didn't, you know what I mean? Yeah, then we heard Hollis wasn't in favor of it, and when we had a meeting with Hollis, they said that we weren't in favor of it, and I'm like, I didn't hear anything about that. So, at the end of the day, they're not building a sidewalk there. I think the road's gonna be as wide as it is, going to be. There just won't be a sidewalk. It'll just be a walking, travel path. It won't have a raise like you would have a sidewalk. But the bridge is not being postponed for that. I think the rerouting of the traffic, look, I've been to several meetings, and it's been going round and round and round and round, right? And so they don't really communicate all that well in DOT, in my opinion, and so I'll have to ask these people, and I'm not in charge. When they were talking about this bridge reducing the limit, I went to a meeting at Poland Springs with the DOT, and he's like, well, what about the bridge and all that? He goes, well, that's another department, and I don't know what they're doing. And so, how are they rerouting the traffic? I don't know what they're doing to reroute traffic. All I'm doing is dealing with the rerouting of the traffic of the bridge, of reducing the limit. And he said, but the engineers are going back out there, so we're not sure exactly what's gonna happen yet, and they were gonna reroute it a different way than what they're gonna do when they replace the bridge. So I don't want to speak too much and say this is what it's going to be, because it's always changing. But for the last I heard, they were going to keep it on 4A, and they're going to fix the corner. When you get into Hollis, that sharp corner, they're going to move poles and fix that whole road, is what they told me. But I didn't hear that from the bridge people. I heard that from the other people. And so they don't speak, so I can't say that with accuracy that that's what they're going to do. At this point, I have no idea what they're going to be doing.
We might witness another miracle potentially.
Yeah.
Another what?
Another miracle.
I saw one go through Torrey Hill, went through Lowe's, Bar Mills, and then turned left on Fountain Street the other day. Go down over Fountain Street and come back out on, I don't know how he ever made it.
Tight turn.
Well, once he got over across, going down onto Main Street off from Fountain Street, and then once you get over across the river, there's absolutely no way that you can stay on your side of the road and keep the vehicle on the road, not a tractor trailer. So, I don't know. That's the first time that I've ever seen him go down Fountain Street. Yeah, I guess that's it for now.
Anybody else? Seeing none, I'll
No executive sessions.
call for adjournment.
No executive sessions.
Oh, no executive sessions, I'm sorry. We'll adjourn at 7:35.
So moved.
All in favor? 4 with 1 absent. Thank you and have a safe week.